So students, now we are going to start with the next topic, that is known as pollination process. We have already studied in previous lectures that male and female gametes have been formed. So the male gametes have been formed in pollen grain. Same way, the female gamete have been formed within embryo sac. And these both structures, that is male and female gametes, both are non-motile. And as they are non-motile, there should be some mechanism, there should be some process because of which these two gametes come together for fertilization process, right? And for that, this pollination process is there. So, what is the definition of pollination? Definition of pollination is transfer of pollen which are shed from the anther, So, transfer of pollen from anther we have written, so I am not writing that. So, transfer of pollen to stigma of carpel, where carpel is nothing but the female reproductive part. So, transfer of pollen to stigma of carpel, that process is known as pollination process. And for that, flowering plants have evolved amazing array of adaptations to achieve pollination. Right? So, this amazing array of adaptations means they are going to use various types of methods to bring pollination successfully. And for that, they are going to use several pollinating agents, which can be external as well. So, external pollinating agents, and mainly are of two types, abiotic and biotic pollinating agents. This abiotic includes wind and water, while biotic agents include birds, insects, animals, etc. Right? But this we have to study in detail in later classes. So, now these pollinating agents will assure pollination process, and because of that, fertilization process can be achieved. Now, this pollination process is mainly of two types that we need to study. So, now we are going to start with the kind of pollination. Kind of pollination. Depending on source of pollen, source मतलब कहाँ से वो pollen grains आ रही है. Depending on that, we are having mainly two types or two kinds of pollination. That is known as self-pollination and the cross-pollination. Self-pollination means pollen is from the same plant. Right? Now, here again we are going to divide it into two main categories, that is known as autogamy and geitonogamy. In autogamy, the pollens are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. So flower is bisexual, and because of that, if for example this is one type of flower, then pollen from this flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower. Right? So here I can write that pollens are transferred to the stigma of same flower. Normally in nature, this type of method, that is autogamy, is very rare. If the flower opens and it exposes anther stigma in the environment, there are chances of contamination with the other pollens also. So in environment, you can say the autogamy in environment, autogamy for open flowers is very rare. It is very rare process. Why? Because anther and stigma have been exposed in the environment. So there can be two things. Geitonogamy I will show you later on. So there can be two important things which should lead to autogamy. That is, number one, when the pollens are released from anther, at the same time stigma has to be receptive. So again I can say that at time of pollen release, stigma has to be receptive. And second, that stamen and carpels are close enough to each other to bring this autogamy process. So stamen, or maybe you can write anther also. So anther and carpel, that is nothing but the stigma, has to be close enough to bring autogamy process. And that's why if these two things are there, even in bisexual flower, autogamy is possible. In nature, I can give you three examples: Commelina, oxalis and viola. These are the three examples. So writing here, viola, common name is pansy, Commelina and oxalis. These three types of plants, they show two different types of flowers. Those are, here I am writing, so two different types of flowers can be produced in viola, Commelina and oxalis. They produce clistogamous as well as the chasmogamous flower. Chasmogamous flower. So, when I am saying clistogamous, flowers do not open. So, flowers do not open and exchange of pollen, or rather pollen release and setting on the stigma surface, that will take place within bud condition. Within bud condition only. And here I can say, though flower is not opening, it assures seed set event. So, assured seed set event is observed. While another type of flowers are casmogamous. Flowers normally get open, flowers bloom, and normal self-pollination is seen in these types of flowers. Right? So, two different types of flowers we have seen. Casmogamous as well as clistogamous. This I can show you with the help of diagram. Clistogamous and the casmogamous flowers. So, let me show you here. For example, if this is plant, then underground flowers which arise, those are, for example, if flower arise here in the form of bird, underground flowers which do not get open. So these are clistogamous flowers. And here anther dehisces within bud condition. So clistogamous flowers are normally, you can say, autogamous flowers only. But when casmogamous flowers are there, they are present aerially and they bloom also. So these flowers are casmogamous flowers. So in autogamous, I can show you flower here along with here, but pollination happens in the within same flower, right? So that is known as the autogamy. Now we are moving on to gytenogamy, where pollens of one flower are transferred to stigma of another flower of same plant. So now this I can show you here. This is one flower, this is another flower, and pollen from this flower are transferred to the another flower of the same plant. So actually you can say here that pollinating agents may help in this process. So pollinators can also take part, but the pollens and stigma both are having the same genetic constitution, right? So I can write here, because of same genetic constitution, this will be considered as gytenogamy under the self-pollination process. Now moving for cross-pollination process. Cross-pollination means where pollens of one flower are transferred to stigma of another flower of another plant. So what will happen here? For example, this is one plant and here there is one more plant of same type. So now pollen from this flower are transferred to the stigma of another plant. So that's why you can say this is cross-pollinating method, and here pollinators are also playing important role. Now in case of autogamy, we studied about two types of flower, that is clistogamous and chasmogamous. Now if I am asking you question that clistogamous, is it advantageous or not? Then the answer is, it has certain advantages. I am writing here advantages of clistogamous flowers. That in any adverse condition, in any environmental adverse conditions also, pollination is going to take place. Pollination is going to take place because flower do not bloom and there is no effect of any adverse environmental conditions on the flowering process, or maybe you can say for the pollination process. What is the disadvantage of this process? So disadvantage is, as flower never bloom, they are not going to have pollens from other sources, and because of that genetic variety, or maybe you can say evolution, is never going to happen in such type of flowers. They will remain, or they will have the same type of pollens every time. There cannot be any changes, no variations, no evolutionary mechanism which is seen in the autogamy clistogamous flowers. So in last I can say that pollination is mainly of two kinds. Self and cross pollination. Here the plant is same. Here two different plants of same species are involved. Self pollination again can be divided into autogamy and geitonogamy, while cross pollination, that is known as xenogamy. Right? So here in same flower, here two different flowers but same plant. So same flower. Here two different flowers but same flower, same plant, and here two different plants of same species is involved.